Is it even worth it to be wise? Does it help you out any in life? Or does it just make you miserable? The Bible says that with much wisdom comes much suffering. That can be pretty true. And then at the same time, you also have a lot of pop culture, kind of what everyone thinks of it as the successful people. Maybe they don't seem so wise all the time. Take rappers, let's name some names. Cardi B, or I don't know, someone else, maybe like Travis Scott or something like that. They don't seem like the brightest, wisest people, but they probably make money or more money than pretty much everyone watching this video. They have nicer houses, nicer lifestyles, etc., etc. Doesn't seem like that's too bad, does it? Or you also have, look, what do they say? Ignorance is bliss. You've got people who, let's say, have lower IQs. Now, it's not necessarily a lack of wisdom. You might say just a lack of intelligence. There's a difference. And they seem to be much more entertained, much easier than a lot of people. I don't know if you've ever paid attention. I mean, not trying to be mean to anybody, but people who have Down syndrome seem to be happier than almost anyone else you'll ever meet. Right? So, wisdom. This is the whole point. Is it even worth being wise? Wouldn't you just be better to be like a dog and not worry about anything, not think about anything, That's not, in my opinion, or in Solomon's opinion, the best take on it. A lot of you have a problem, and it's that you get halfway. That's really what it comes down to. You identify all of the problems of the world with things you've learned. You identify all of the things that are obstacles. But then you don't go the extra step and learn the wisdom of how to overcome them. Right? It's, I don't know, something like learning how to diagnose all the problems in a car, but then not know how to fix them. Well, of course, it's going to make you feel a lot worse and all these things. I have a take on this, and it is not a common take, but that if you are truly wise or you're truly enlightened, let's say, it's not in line with, the Bible, the idea of enlightenment so much, but you not only will have understanding of how the world works, you will actually be a higher performing person. Most people I've ever met that are actually more elevated, ascended, enlightened, whatever you want to call it, not only have an understanding, but also have success. Okay? So anyway, that's a good intro. Let's go into today's reading of Proverbs. This is chapter 2, we're finally in, and it's actually called Wisdom's Worth. So, my son, if you accept my words and store up my commandments within you, listen closely to wisdom and directing your heart to understanding. Furthermore, if you call out to insight and lift your voice to understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it like hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. There's the fear of the Lord again there. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He stores up successes for the upright. He is a shield for those who live with integrity, so that he may guard the path of justice and protect the way of his loyal followers. Then you will understand righteousness, justice, and integrity, every good path. For wisdom will enter your mind, and knowledge will delight your heart. Discretion will watch over you, and understanding will guard you. Rescuing you from the way of evil, from the ones who say perverse things, from those who abandon the right paths to walk in ways of darkness, from those who enjoy doing evil and celebrate perversion, whose paths are crooked and whose ways are devious. It will rescue you from a forbidden woman, from a stranger with her flattering talk, who abandons the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her ways to the land of departed spirits. None return who go to her, none reach the path of life. So follow the way of good people, and keep to the path of the righteous. For the upright will inhabit the land, and those of integrity will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous uprooted from it. That was a lot of things, which is a hint. If you notice, he points out there are many obstacles. He talks about women, he talks about the dangers of people who are wicked, maybe like, someone who might mug you. He talks about, people who don't have integrity. This is a hint. There's a variety of obstacles you're going to have in life. And you have to, as you learn wisdom, learn that it's not just learning about one thing. You need to learn how the world operates as a whole. And this is a tough one, because I've noticed many people, they're very wise on one or two things, but they're completely blindsided by others. Here's a great example. You have someone who ends up being pretty good with money, pretty wise with money, shrewd. He knows how to invest it. But then he goes and he marries a bimbo. And after 4 or 5 years, he ends up getting in a divorce and loses all of his money. And in divorce or something like that, gets wrecked, right? This learning wisdom thing, as it says here, if you seek it like silver and search for it like hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. You'll understand the rules. You have to not just take one aspect of life and learn about it deeply. Let's say it was just understanding ideas of theology in an academic sense. You'll understand how the universe operates in a macro logistic way, but you also need to take the time to learn the logistical ideas of how the world works. You need to understand how day-to-day things work. Now, if you combined the two, that is an extremely powerful thing. And you have some people in life, let's say those rappers we talked about, maybe they understand some of the logistical, the tactical day-to-day things about making money or attracting women or, having fun, those type of things, right? But they don't pair it with a larger understanding of how the universe works. And they're not really looking at a long-term, stable happiness. Many of those people that OD on drugs, let's be honest, look at Tupac, look at some of those other Biggie and all the other ones. They're not with us anymore. They're gone, right? They lived a fast life and they got fast rewards and a quick end. You also have other people, they're kind of stifled and they're intelligent, but they end up in this, they did out everything by the book. They played by the rules, right? The bigger rules. And they, one, didn't know how to accept rewards, and two, they thought that all of the smaller things in life were the dirty things. They're the things that aren't worthy of paying attention to. Here's another good example. Bill Gates, right? That guy, he super rich, hundreds of billions. And some people may say he was successful still overall, but he got a divorce with Melinda Gates. Melinda, I think she got like 40 or 60 billion dollars of his net worth. He also got into some scandalous trouble with other things. And he went through a lot of pain for that. And he didn't organize his life in a way that really set him up for success. He got hyper-focused on one avenue of life, building Microsoft, getting super wealthy, but he didn't handle, the man probably should have never got married. Not only that, but supposedly he got involved with some salacious things with minors, etc. That's not all come out yet. I don't want to get too crazy into all that, but it's more than likely true. And you have to, when searching for wisdom, really try to look at the system as a whole and what is its worth. If you notice, this whole chapter here is talking about pitfalls. There's pitfalls on the left, there's pitfalls on the right. The fast life, the slow life, you want to try to take the narrow path in life. The one where you're aware that you need to optimize for both being as stable as possible, right? But not overcommitting. Okay. This is a pretty shorter thing. If you have any questions about this, let me know. But don't get too heavy-handed in life in just one path. Maybe if you're doing okay, right, and you're making decent money, you're living out your life in a way that is respectable, you need to probably take on some hobbies, go out and learn how to party a little bit, but in a responsible way, and have a good social life, right? Depriving yourself of that can make you a little weird and do some things that are kind of cringy, and it's a separate set of skills. Vice versa, if you're somebody who, I don't know, sells drugs or something and trying to, live in a way that's flashy, you're probably going to end up getting in trouble with the law eventually, statistically. Take those skills that you've learned with your life of, crime or something like that, and try to apply them to the business world or something like that. All right, well, that's it for today. Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.